So guys, we're sitting here. It's a Friday afternoon, and there's always cool stuff going on at Atlanta Hobby and UAV Experts. We're going on a motorcycle ride tomorrow.
Yes, we are.
What time are we leaving, by the way?
We'll leave my place probably by 9:30.
9, because it's going to rain in the afternoon.
Yeah, so we'll go early.
So it's going to rain tomorrow afternoon. So before we go any more, when it stops raining, you're going to need something cool to fly. And while we were at CEF a couple of weeks ago, we ran into Quique Somenzini, who always has had just killer airplanes and stuff out there, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So we're strolling down the flight line, and what do we see?
Yeah, we saw these foam airplanes that he has. Not a profile type airplane, but a foam 47-inch wing airplane.
Pretty cool.
3-cell 2200.
You can see it off there just a little bit.
Yeah.
But what we figured we would do is show you a little bit about what's in the box, because it's pretty cool. Quique, of course, has started a new company. He left his previous employer. For those of you who don't know, Quique had his own company for the longest time, and he was courted away by one of the large distributors out there. But after a while of corporate life and having to wear a tie, which Quique would look a little funny in a tie, I think, started his whole new company called Flex Innovations, and there's a bunch of cool new products he has. But one of them is this Quique Extra 300. So let's kind of show them what's in the box. Maybe we could, you know, there's a little notes page. And
nicely packed. You got the wing, or the elevators are split just to build them. I mean,
it was packed really well. I was impressed.
Yes.
All the bags are sealed. And,
everything's already in it now. Your servos are already hooked up.
This is like some derivative of, you know, EPP has a whole bunch of different types of EPP. The thing I noticed is it's stiff. It's very, very stiff.
It's actually a hollow wing with wood and carbon reinforced.
We also have some very cool vortex generators along the wing that you can see there.
And the size of the ailerons.
Oh, yeah. Very, very thick. Yeah. Look how thick that stuff is. Yeah. And it comes with the servos in it.
It does. Servos are in it. Servos are already mounted. Everything's actually mounted. Motor's mounted. Really all you need for this is a receiver and a battery. And the other cool thing about it is the receiver, he has his Aurora 8 flight stabilization system in it.
Is it called Aurora or Aura?
Well, I guess it could be
Aura. A-U-R-A. It's called A-U-R-A 8, the number 8.
Yeah.
And it's stability, right?
Yeah, it's stability. But one of the cool things about it is you don't have to have an entire receiver. You can take like a Spectrum satellite, if you're Spectrum guys, which a lot of guys come in our shop are, and you can just take the Spectrum satellite, 1 or 2. Quique said that they did most of their testing with just 1 and had no issues.
New dual diversity thing probably.
You can use that, yes, and you plug it into the satellite and bind it. So it is like a plug and play type of aircraft. So if you're Futaba or a Tyrannus or even Airtronics or anything works with this system.
It was impressive that it would bind to anything.
Yes, and it's really, I mean, I put that one together. You can see, I won't pull the fuselage out, but you can kind of see.
Take a look at it. So this Aurora or Aura thing, it's a flight stabilization system. And for what I understand, you can set it up with 3 different modes,
yes.
right?
He actually has it when it comes out of the box, and like when I set it up on my DX9, I have it on a flight mode switch. Mode 1, it's not on. You can do whatever you want with that mode. Mode 2 is in a kind of a sport mode, and mode 3 is full deflection 3D mode. And it's a little bit different than like your AS3X. When you would move that AS3X, you'd see slight movements. When this is in 3D mode and you move the plane, it gets its drastic swings.
That's cool.
It really reminds me of the helicopter stabilization system.
This thing is big.
What it does. Yeah,
it's a big.
Yeah, and it flies very nicely on a 3-cell 2200.
Well, that's what I thought. You want, you know, for you 3D guys, you want
heavy.
Extreme 3D performance out there.
I mean, basically, you're going to bolt on the landing gear, which slide right up in the fuselage, and there's a cover that goes over it to hold it to the bottom.
The other thing I mentioned about the wings that I should have is they're hollow. They're molded hollow, so they're very, very lightweight, and it's got an internal wood and carbon structure to make it very, very stiff. So he's done a great job with that.
Wing tube, I have some tape still stuck on it, but the wing tube, just like we're used to, slide the wing tube through. You slide the wings on and run your servos, or run your wires from your servos, just like we do with any 48 or 60-inch plane that we're used to flying. And 47-inch is kind of nice because a lot of times I don't even take the wings off. I just put it in the back of the car. So, you know.
Yeah, it makes it easy to handle.
Yeah, and it's that type of plane. To me, it's the type of plane you just throw it in the car, you take it out, you just fly it, don't worry about it, and fly it hard, and it flies hard.
You know, the wings have SFGs too, so those little side force generators,
Yep,
so that helps
yep.
if you're doing
And those you
vortex
glue
generators.
on. You can kind of see them here. You just glue those on, and they're on, and it's done. There's really no gluing at all involved at all. Everything bolts together, and it really, I think maybe an hour I might have spent on it.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, there's really nothing to do with you're binding it to your radio, and he gives you in the instruction book, which we have laying
Yep,
right there.
very cool.
He gives you the setups and what to set your transmitter to for your throws, because you'll have some different throws on different modes.
So you can have cliff throws or Quique throws.
Yes. Quique
Mine are
smooth
about like
talent.
that.
Yeah,
Quiques
yeah.
are about like that.
Yeah, so, and you know, we watched them fly, and the thing that really caught my eye was how windy, and it wasn't just windy. Wind's one thing, it was very gusty.
Yeah, it's
And it just knocks planes around when it's like that. And they were up, and him and Seth Arnold, and obviously these two guys are excellent pilots anyway, but still, the aircraft performed so well and was so smooth.
It was cool.
It was really cool to watch, and when I flew the other day with it, it was the same conditions, and I had a blast with it.
Of course, two of the best pilots in the world can make
Yeah.
it look good in any
Yeah,
condition.
they fly a brick.
But Seth was interesting.
Yeah, Seth was
this
interesting
time.
weather.
You know, I thought another cool thing was they even went as far as Dave Ribby, who was also with another big distributor, has moved over and is working with Quique now, as well as Seth Arnold, which you just heard us mention. But Quique and Dave, they've developed a whole new prop. It's 11.5 by 4.5. They call it an SR, a Somenzini Ribby prop.
Is that what that?
Especially
I
built
didn't
for
get
it.
that. I didn't
And it's
hear
kind
that.
of like a 10 size motor too, so it's got gobs of power.
Oh, it has got plenty of power. I mean, actually, yesterday on my last flight, I took it and just kind of held it and powered up and let it go like that into kind of a hover, and it just sits there, and then you can punch out of a hover,
Oh,
no
cool.
problem. Yeah.
On a
on
2200?
3 cells, fine. Yeah.
So it's
3
like
cells 20. Yeah. He does have the option. He said there's a different motor you can get if you want to go to 4 cell, but you really don't need it. It's got a 40 amp hobby wing speed controller in it.
Yeah.
Nice little speed controller. It's 3 cells perfect. 3 cell 2200 high Sierra batteries are 19.
well, yeah, for $20 you can do that.
Absolutely.
Well, shove all this stuff back in the box and let's show them what one looks
All
like
right.
put together.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's do this. Here's the hatch. So that's the battery hatch.
So yeah, so
See that already?
everything fits.
Yeah. And he's got a nice belt type strap. I use a little bit different connector, but still. The speed controller sits right in the bottom, but there's also air inlet for the speed controller.
Oh
You
yeah,
got
hang
some
on
air?
right there. Let me get a shot of that because that's kind of nice.
Yep.
Cool.
Get that. And then he's got the little belt strap. And of course, I put a little bit of Velcro on the bottom just to help hold the battery. The battery sits almost perfectly centered in there, CG wise. He has his CG.
I was impressed with the plywood frame that's inside of the whole thing.
Yeah. He has a CG right at the front of the bottom hatch. And this is what I was talking about with the. If I can get this, or I can show it. Yeah. So that is the Spectrum satellite sitting right here. Okay, and it's plugged right into the Aura or Aurora 8 right here.
Okay, good.
See that right there? There's the flight controller. Spectrum satellite sitting right next to it, plugs right into it. And you can do too, I just happen to have a carbon fused satellite laying around, so I used it and let the antenna run out the bottom. And you can see the tail servos sitting right there. Got nice plywood that goes. The servo wires pass right through. He's got a nice hole to pass the wires through. They come right up underneath, real easy to get to. Even if you do have to take the wings off, it's not hard. It has a screw on both sides right in here that you take out, and then you can slide the wing off from that point.
So it's real easy to take apart and transport.
Yeah, it's real quick to take apart if you
Very,
want to take it apart. But again, it's doesn't weigh much. You throw it in the car, and it's a foam plane.
I like that it's got some presence to it, you know.
Oh, it's got a nice
A
shape.
300 will tumble and it'll do all
Yes.
kinds of cool stuff.
Well,
so.
I did some flat spins with it and some hard tumbles with it, and the one thing it does really well is knife edge. It's Harrier type knife edges. It's just I was watching Quique do them, and I figured, well, that's Quique. He was just doing elevator drop in knife edge, and I did it the other day, and it made me look a lot better at doing it than I am. But it really holds a knife edge really well. There's like no coupling involved whatsoever. It's
So,
really fun to knife edge.
That's probably because of the SFGs, and then you're giving it full rudder,
Yep.
which is how you would fly.
And it's
that
got a
thing.
nice size rudder on it too.
It does have a big rudder,
Yeah.
which is fantastic.
It's just a really fun plane, and especially for the price. I mean, it's done. You're putting a battery in it.
Yeah, so we'll close with that. Again, completely built, servos installed, all of them, motors installed, speed controllers installed. All you need is a Spectrum satellite or a satellite of your choice, and a 3S pack anywhere from an 1800 to 3300. But you get all of that for $280, which is
Fantastic.
that's
To
pretty
me,
fantastic.
yeah, I mean,
Pretty fantastic.
And,
stuff.
it's about an hour, maybe an hour and a half to get
To
it
put it
ready to take
together.
to the field.
Nice.
It's done.
Well, check it out on the website. Watch some of the videos we've got, and visit us over at Atlanta Hobby. Get you one extra 300 Quique.
Blue or red? It
Blue
really
or
looks
red.
orange and purple to me, but
It's kind of orange.
I have cataracts.
I like the blue.
Yeah.
All right, let's
All
go
right.
play it.
See you.